Today we have some races that are going to be a little bit more intense. This is in the R class at Daytona Sports Car Circuit. I'm utilizing an Audi LMS. Um, Pretty full field here. We got us a Ferrari, another Ferrari, another Ferrari, a KTM, a Lamborghini, a Corvette, another KTM, and then yours truly in his 5150 Audi. And we're off. And that Ferrari, he didn't take off, and I kind of made contact with him there. This Viper is in front of me. There's another Audi that dives in front of me. This guy's kind of pushing me off the track. That Lamborghini makes his way around me. I think that's a Diablo. Everybody's banging around, fighting for position. A couple of people went off track. I'm currently in 14th place. Let's see if I can't gain a couple of positions. Well, I got one there. I ended up getting two. But he fights his way back. And I get down underneath him here, heading into this back straightaway. There's some guy went off track there. And I ought to be able to get up to about 170, 180 before I have to do heavy braking for this little chicane section. And there's a couple of cars that slide through. I bump into this Ferrari. They're pulling a little stronger than I am, but they make contact with each other and send each other flying through the air, so I'm able to get past them. That guy goes off track over there, but regains himself pretty good. That guy goes off track. I would have slammed into him had the game not done that, turn it into a ghost so you don't slam into him. And that green Lamborghini, he kind of went wide there. He lost a position. It's pretty intense. These guys are far enough ahead of me that it really doesn't look to me like I'm going to be able to catch them unless they make some kind of mistake like that. And so I gained a position there because that guy went off track. Guys are kind of bundling up. Gives me an opportunity to kind of catch up to them a little bit. little bit of sliding around there. Back up to speed. Gotta slow down for this hard right-hander right here. And that guy went off track, so that gives me another position. But there's two guys in my rearview mirror that are doing a pretty good job of catching up to me. I don't know that I'll be able to catch these guys in front of me. They're pulling away from me. That, I think that's a McLaren coming up. Yeah, that is McLaren. But he spins pretty bad, and that guy spins. And I keep going through it. It's not like I had any choice in the matter. Those guys spun right in front of me. And there's McLaren in front of me. He's pulling away, so I don't know that I'm going to be able to catch him. I'm back to 10th. There's McLaren behind me. He's gaining on me. Bumps into me. Backs off a little bit. We both make it through this corner safely, but he's really banging into my back bumper. And he bangs into me again, and so much so that he completely knocks me off the track, and I lose even more positions. I go way off track, through the cones, and I'm in 15th place, and this Corvette is in front of me now. And I'm in 16th place. There's a Ferrari behind me, a Corvette in front of me. Let me see if I can gain any of this back. That guy goes wide there, so I might be able to get a little headway coming onto this back straightaway. And I dive down below him, even though I'm going off track. I still pass the guy. They say that it's an illegal pass, so I got a time penalty for that. And so I just went straight through. I said, forget it. I got a time penalty for it. So I don't know that this race is going to end up being anything that you want to write home about. I am gaining ground on these guys in front of me, but this is the final lap, and I don't know that I'm going to be able to gain enough ground to actually pass them. But we'll see if I can. That red Ferrari is filling up my rearview mirror pretty good. I think that car in front of me is a Viper, I think. Kind of looks like it. Well, that Ferrari behind me, he spun out. So it looks like I'm going to end up 12th in this race, but I'll probably lose a couple of spots because of those time penalties. We'll see. So I do end up remaining 12th with a 3.3 second time penalty. Although looking at the other people, they had some pretty significant time penalties as well. But I wasn't real satisfied with the way that race played out. Um, so I decided to hang around and do another race. And we're going through the process of letting this race, the end of the race, play out. And as you can see, I came in 12th. Um, and all three of those winning cars are of the Italian um, heritage. And so I decided to do this race again. And I change over to it's still an Audi, but I changed over to another one, um, and to gain more car points because I only have 23, a car level of 23 in that one. It's the same car. It's just got lower car levels, so I switched over to my one that's got the Richard Petty paint job on it, but it's the same car. Um, and I have both of them set up pretty much the same. I think one has a slightly different gear ratio, um, but this particular race ends up having a much, much smaller field. There's only four people in this race. Uh, and so, I mean, right now it's showing three, but there's the fourth person who joined the lobby. So I head out for qualifying, and in the previous race, I had a time of like 149 or something like that, and I'm gonna see if I can't better that time. Although I'm basically doing it in exactly the same car, so that might be kind of hard to better that time. Into the grass a little bit there. And you get up to about almost 180 um, on this straightaway section here, but then you gotta slow down quite a bit for this chicane section on the back straightaway, and then you just back on the throttle, pedal to the metal, trying to get as much speed as you can coming back to the start finish line. get up to a little better than 170. And I do initially qualify first with another 149. So I actually didn't better my time. And initially I'm in the pole position, but as the qualifying plays out, some other people put down better qualifying times than I do. And at the end of the day, I ended up qualifying third. That Lex G0629 and Copper Singer, those two guys, they end up getting better lap times than I do. And this other fella that's got this 151 qualifying time, what is that guy's name? Just Roar. He's driving a Corvette, which will come into play later. And so I'm coming around on the final lap of qualifying. And at this point, I'm still thinking, well, I'm doing okay. I'm on the pole position. But again, like I said, so there's the first guy. He gets a 147. And he knocks me out of first place. And then as I'm finishing up this final qualifying lap, I get bested by this other guy. I kind of swing wide there, and that's going to affect this particular lap time. I was hoping to try to get down to like 147. My best lap time right now is 148.279. I was going to try and get down better than that, but with going off track a little bit like I did there, I don't think that I'm going to be able to better that time. I was able to better my initial time of 149, but I'm not going to be able to beat out my previous lap time. And this final lap ends up being 148.795, so my second lap was the best. And then this really strange kind of thing happened right there. The car there, it like slammed into the wall. I don't know what that was all about. But so here we are at the beginning of the race, and somehow I ended up being second. And even though this other guy, he had a better lap time than I. Maybe he got some kind of penalty or something, but he laid down a better lap time than I did. Um, and But I start out second, and so I'm feeling hopeful at this point. We'll see how all of this plays out during the race. And initially, I beat this guy off the line, although this Porsche, he's pretty fast around the outside. I make contact with him a little bit there. He regains himself. I try to give him room. I'm heading into this section here. He's getting through here faster than I am, that's for sure. And I make a little bit of a mistake right there, and that allows this guy behind me to get a little bit closer. And as we make our way onto the back straightaway, this is where this guy behind me, he actually ends up having more speed than I do, and he's gaining on me, and then I miscalculate pretty bad right here, and boom, there he goes, passes me like I'm standing still, and now I got a rear view mirror full of Chevy Corvette. This guy's bearing down on me. He swings up to my right side to try to pass me on the outside. He's swiggling around behind me, looking fairly unstable. And these guys in front of me are not all that far ahead. And that guy's gonna brake later, and I end up making contact with him, but then I stop to allow him to regain composure, and that of course lets the leaders pull even further away. And I'm trying to be courteous to this guy, but at the same time I want to get past this guy, because I think that I'm faster than he is. But I can only do so much without, making constant contact with the guy, which is not, that's not good, clean racing when you're bumping into people all the time. So I'm thinking I've got more speed than he does. And so I'm going to try to beat him out in a drag race down to this chicane. And he doesn't seem real stable. He's wiggling around a lot. But I back off there and I let him go through there first, figuring hopefully I can get through this better and get him in this section, which is exactly what happened. And I end up passing him on the outside. And he ducks right behind me again to, I don't know, maybe try to draft off of me or something, I don't know, but and he slams into me there, but then he backs off. Now, no penalty for the collision, but that collision and everything associated with it slowed us both down, which of course is letting these people in front get even further and further away. Because I want to rein those guys in. I mean, I can see them. They're close enough to where I should be able to catch them if I don't make any mistakes. And if I'm able to, optimize the full potential of the speed of this car, I should be able to catch those guys. And I make a pretty big mistake right there. that ends up giving me a slight. I thought I got a time penalty there, but I guess not. Because cutting across that corner like that usually gets you a time penalty. Now these guys that are in front of me, they're not in sight at all. So they've pulled away pretty significantly. And this Corvette, I'm certainly not able to shake this guy. He's living in my rearview mirror. And I miscalculate things right there. I'm still able to stay in front of this Corvette, but that allowed him to get closer. And I know that I have more speed than he does on this back straightaway, so I'm just, you know, absolute pedal to the metal, trying to pull away, but he seems to be right there. And he ducks underneath me. I think he's going to try and get through this corner, and we end up making contact. And I cut across the grass, no penalty. And then once again, I come up on the outside of him, thinking I can pass him, because this is the way that I passed him before. That little sun glare kind of blinds you for a second. And he makes contact with me again. I'm not sure that I'm fully cleared him yet. And he dives in, and I go off track right there. No penalty, but still, I went off track, and that allowed him to get a little bit further ahead than he would have ordinarily been. I'm sliding around a little bit now. I got 5 laps on these tires. I got minor tire wear, so now I have to be a little bit more cautious with things, because the car is going to slide more. Looks like I'm getting more speed than he does, and I decide to pass him on the inside, which causes me to get a time penalty, and as a result of that, I end up being 4th, and he moves up to 3rd because of the time penalty. So that's my second race at Daytona in my Audi. I hope you liked it, and I'll see you on the racetrack.